KAI has been the first Olympia runner-up for 3 consecutive years. Although he never won the title, he since has risen to become one of bodybuilding's biggest stars. Today, it seems that KAI's goals have shifted. He's no longer passionate about competing for titles. KAI, when I first met you a few years ago, your main goal in life, your main focus was to win Mr. Olympia. How would you describe you then versus you now?
Interesting question, I guess, because that was another time, I think another time in my life, I believed a lot more in another idea that today I don't believe in. I was looking for the trophy. I was looking for the medals, the new contracts.
KAI Greene's an interesting read. You know, KAI Greene came from the streets. He came from the bottom up. And I don't think KAI's dream was to be a professional bodybuilder. When you struggle, you come from a boys' home, I think you look just for a place to belong.
I remember being in an institutional facility, and one day in a meeting with the director of the facility, he said, "You leaving this place, we don't question your ability to survive." He said, "What I question is the quality of your survival." Fast forward, years later, what have you done?
For the last year, KAI has been working on his graphic novel, Chronicles of King KAI.
There was a time when the world would sooner see me as a 300-pound black guy with an 8-inch scar down the side of his face. He would know nothing about feelings of vulnerability. One thing that I've noticed, particularly when I was a kid, when drawing, I would see how people could turn around and, you know, be so quick to judge what your project looked like in its earlier stage. When you're drawing or you're starting out, you know, people are less likely to encourage you and think, oh, that doesn't look like it's supposed to look. There's a certain level of pressure that comes along with the spotlight that I think can be very easily overwhelming, maddening.
KAI is he's a very unique character. I mean, he's got a great body, obviously, but he creates a lot of mystique about him. Obviously, he's the best poser in body, but he's the most entertaining poser, that's for sure.
He's very friendly, and one-on-one, he's very real. If you get him at the right time, he'll spend an hour talking to you. You could be just, you know, some woman or some man off the street, and if you ask him a question, he'll sit down and he won't answer it. He'll explain it in vivid detail. He's not like, oh yeah, thank you very much. He's like, no, well, the reason this is that way is because the situation of the matter to the left.
Do you think some fans will turn away from KAI because he's not competing?
I think it didn't help him. I mean, he's always gonna be popular and he's always gonna be a big star, but I think it did hurt him, to tell you the truth. I do. The Olympia is the World Series. So for him to not do that, I thought was, in my opinion, not a good business decision.
KAI Greene and Phil Heath, like, you know, Phil Heath was the winner, but KAI Greene was right there in popularity. And, you know, he was getting more fan appeal than Phil Heath was.
Do you think KAI quit because he thought he couldn't win the Olympia?
I don't think in KAI's mind he really thinks that he can't beat Phil, because I think KAI's a warrior, and I think if he gets to it, he could beat anybody if he really wants to. Do you think he dropped out because of that?
The industry is changing. You can't afford to be just an athlete. Everybody wants you to sell them something now. Sell me, sell me, sell me. Can my joints be as strong as yours are? Sell me the product.
Do you still push yourself in the gym as hard as you used to?
You know, when I was training with the belief in this other thing, you had reason to put 505 on your 805 on your back and squat down to the floor and stand up and feel like everything in your body was gonna break, but you found a reason to do it. Now you wouldn't put half that on your back. You wouldn't, for what? Because, what? No, I mean, you know, balls to the wall. Everybody talks this bullshit now. Everybody wants to talk bullshit. What are we talking about? you haven't endured any injuries yet. You know, like I was when I was a teenager. The older guys in the gym couldn't talk to me when I was, no, hey young guy, I was as strong as you when I was younger. They're like, you've never been as strong as me. You kidding me? I couldn't hear it. I want to work because I want to be successful, you know. I've spent too long in my life not successful and knowing what that feels like. I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like to just not have. How many people get up in the morning and feel less than their best? I want to be successful. I just want to be successful. Being successful is one of those things that, you know, you don't have to think I'm very, very attractive. In fact, every time you look at me, you may just say, wow, his nose is just too big. And you know what? His lips just do not quite fit his face. And you know what? That scar down the right side of his face, what the hell happened? But, you know, if I'm success because I've worked really hard and I pay attention to the details that will allow me to grow beyond those limitations, you know, and I've found they will still put you on the cover of the magazine, even if they thought you were ugly, because there's still value.